You go.
Should be able to do it. Can you hear?
There's I get a roll call, please.
Okay. Robbie.
Here.
Kristen. Here. Jolie. Here. Dennis.
Here. We have a quorum. Item 2, reading of school mission. Mission of East School Virtual Charter Academy is to educate K-12 students seeking a non-traditional educational setting through online individualized instruction. East School Virtual Charter Academy will provide a rigorous college preparatory learning format for students that will assist them in becoming productive, creative, responsible, ethical, and engaged citizens. Item 3, this is a statement of compliance with the Open Meeting Act. This regularly scheduled meeting of the East School Virtual Charter Academy Board has been convened in accordance with the Oklahoma Open Meeting Act. This meeting was preceded by advance notice of the date, time, and place filed with the Oklahoma County Clerk on October 10th, 2025. Notice of this meeting was also given at least 24 hours in advance of the meeting by posting notice of the date, time, place, and agenda of the meeting by 4 p.m. on June 8th, 2026. At the principal's office of East School Virtual Charter Academy Board, located at 2403 South Division Suite B, Oklahoma, and the school website www.eastschool.org. Discussion of possible action on the minutes of the May 12, 2026 East School Virtual Charter Academy Board of Government's regular meeting. Questions? Question.
Second. Ronnie.
Yes.
Kristen. Yes. Dennis.
Yes.
Jolie. Yes.
I have a few comments. Thanks everybody for coming. Sorry for the late start, but
My bad.
we're off and running. So, yep. Item 6, public comment.
There it is.
7, superintendent report.
Hey, well, I am excited because for the first time we get to have a student spotlight. I'm going to do that first, even though it's out of order, because I want to let our students came. So that's exciting. The two that we're honoring. So I'm going to start with Emma. Emma, will you call me your buddy? And I know I'm going to embarrass her really good. So Emma is, so our school participated, and I'm gonna try to make sure I don't mess this up. Don't let me mess this up, okay? In the turnaround jumped around calendar contest, and Emma won for East School. She got first place, and so we're very proud to be ready for the reveal. Here's the big reveal. Right. Oh, that's all. She got a gift card and a certificate and a ribbon, and we're very proud of you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Okay, so our next student is on video. Helen, are you ready? Helen, can you hear us? She's frozen.
No.
There she goes. She says just kind of, okay, good. Helen, are you there?
Hear you.
Okay, can you hear us now? Oh, it's glitching so bad.
Let me go where dad sits.
Are you sitting where your dad sits
Yeah.
normally? There you go. Okay, try unmuting again.
I think she's up.
Okay.
Jeremy.
Okay, Helen, are you there? Oh, Helen, it's glitching so bad. Okay, well, I'm gonna
She's there.
announce that Helen. Oh, yay, Helen, are you here?
Yes.
Oh, we're getting such bad service. Okay, well, I want to thank Helen for joining us. Helen was a representative from our school at Oklahoma Girls State. And I wanted Helen to be able to talk about it a little bit, but I don't think that's gonna work.
Our dad's trying to switch Wi-Fi,
So,
so.
oh, he
I
is,
sent a
is he
message
there?
to him.
Okay.
He's in the background somewhere.
He's at an AI conference.
Well, he may be texting or telling me to switch Wi-Fi.
Okay, we're gonna wait just a second.
I don't know.
I mean, we're just like, we might as well give her a second. Is he texting you?
No, but he's gonna have her switch.
My school computer is worse.
Well, we actually, we hear you clearer and you're not glitching as bad. Okay, Helen, can you hear us now?
Yes.
We are. Helen, would you like to tell them just a little bit about what you did at Girls State?
I mostly just listened to the speakers whenever they were talking to us, and I did run for Commissioner of Labor, but I didn't really do
Nice.
much.
And maybe just talk a little bit about the purpose of Girls State. Like, what were you guys supposed to learn there? What were you learning about?
The government, how it works.
And
also
where
the
was
people
it
in
in
government, I think. It was kind of there to just open our eyes.
Hey, well, we're so proud of you for. Oh, we're losing you again. Can you still hear us?
Thank you.
Okay. We just want to congratulate you on being selected to attend, and we want to let you know how proud we are of you that you represented our school so well.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate you, girl. Thanks for coming to the board meeting. Okay, I'm gonna move on to.
You're welcome. Thanks for inviting me.
We're gonna move on. I think it's super fun when we get an opportunity, when our kids are doing things like that, for them to be recognized by all of you, because that's a big boost for them too. So thanks for recognizing them and allowing them to join you guys tonight. Let's talk about enrollment real quickly. You can tell by looking at the numbers, we stayed pretty consistent the whole year. And actually, we had a couple of months there where we were higher, but really we stayed pretty consistent, which is really pretty surprising for a virtual school. I was pretty pleased with that. I just finished doing the annual statistical report, and I think our numbers, our average daily membership is going to average out to about, I want to say about 460. So I think it's probably, is that a little bit down from last year?
I think the ASR, what I always look at is the
Attendance
the
or membership?
weighted membership, because that's what we're funded on, so that's what I think about.
Yeah, so we won't know what that is for a while, right? Because the ASR is just it's just the average member. They have two numbers that they look at: average daily membership and average daily attendance. And ours were, both of our numbers were actually very close. Our attendance ran the highest grade, I think, was 99%, and the lowest grade was 96% attendance. So, I mean, that's pretty good average.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of where we ended up the year, and that's kind of where we are. I want to talk just briefly about some staff changes because there have been many. Resignations. Cassie Hemeister resigned. She's taking a job at Deer Creek. That she'll be starting in August. Ashley Terry resigned. She's going to work for another virtual school. Hillary Hicks resigned. She's going to work for Epic. And then chose to non-renew Sierra Oral, Susan Mason, Sarah Terry, and Terry Darcy resigned. So that's kind of where we are. We started a new office person today, Catherine. I'm going to say her name wrong. Help me out here. Eric, last name?
Wrong? No, correct.
Correa?
Correct.
I think so. I think that's right. We all day long we've been saying Korean, Quran, which is it? She started today and she's going to be a great addition to our staff. She's already fitting in well with the other office staff that we've hired. I think we're going to hire one more and possibly one more in addition to that, depending on we'll look at our budget and make sure that we fall in. So we should be able to do that with no increase in the overall budget. So that's a big thing. I think that's it.
Questions? Ms. Sanders?
Me. I am going to show you the kiddos that went on our GT trip. It's kind of a double picture, but really just to kind of show you, I know Crystal will have her input as her daughter is in the picture too, but those are our 5 students. This was one of the brothers, who's actually one of our students and one of our kiddos that went, and they reported that there was obviously this trip is noted because we've tried to come up with a plan that where if you're a student here, you don't go on the same trip twice. So this was what obviously we hadn't done before, but they definitely said if we do this one again, just note it's cool to go there, but it's a lot of driving. So
No.
they got to be together in a lot of sibling road trip love of, you know, just being in a company. So, yeah, but Miss Terry, she had made a lot of good kind of car activities. It gave them a binder of stuff to do, so it was really cool. But yeah, they had a good time. I think it was definitely something that a lot of the kids said. This is their photos. A lot of kids said feedback was obviously they hadn't been there before, and you really don't just go there unless you're just going there. There's not a ton to do in Rapid City. Obviously that cool spot, they can see what's there, but yeah, you don't really go to Rapid City unless you're going to stay to visit Mount Rushmore. So they did say the nighttime stuff and the experience was pretty cool just because of a lot of patriotic stuff was around town. I heard from some kids too, just with being the year that it is for that. So really cool trip, always neat feedback and another one to make it fun and improve it next year. So we've got a lot of cool ideas that we can use just to keep revamping the GT portion of the older kids, help make it more engaging with our younger kids. So I just think it's a neat program that we'll just want to keep making great. So
Kind of looks forward to it every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mom's banned from going. So.
I was gonna say, in the olden days, you guys were there, but you've been kicked out.
But I'm banned from going anymore. She's older.
So did they say the night there? Or-
They did, they had, because the one way was just under 13 hours.
Yeah.
We split it up with a pit stop in a big town in Nebraska.
Yeah.
I say that loosely, there's an airport apparently, so.
I heard they had like a light show or something.
Oh, yeah.
In the evenings there. I've never
Yes,
been.
yes.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, they went to like a gun park and did that kind of stuff. They kind of did the fun, just spend time with each other in the evenings and did cool stuff. But they had a private tour, which was an all-day adventure. I don't even think we all realized it was that long of an adventure, but 8 something in the morning to 5 at night, like drop them back off. Yeah,
Wow.
quite an excursion. So, yeah. Yeah, they did a lot of fun driving, but like I said, some of these kids wouldn't have gone there unless they definitely looked close. So
Yeah.
that's the purpose. So, yeah, it was great. Always fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
8 administration, 8A, discussion of possible action regarding the approval of the treasurer's report through May 31st of 2026.
Okay, we, at this first page. that-
I'm sorry.
Well,
We did have a page.
There we are. This first page is the prior year's activity, and once again, it's at the end of the year, there was no activity in fiscal year 25. So we'll look at the next page, which is a summary of the activity that took place in the current year in the treasurer's system. And we began the month with a cash balance of 95,000 and some change, and investment balance of just under 3 million. We had no outstanding checks or warrants. In the third column over in revenue received, we collected 490,832.81. And The next column is the adjusting interest column on this, basically this balance sheet. And the net amount in there, as usual, is the bank charges. Then we registered payments in the next column of 409,680.02. All of those cleared the bank. And so at the end of the month, we had almost the exact same balance in our operating account, 95,989.50, just over 3 million in investments, and again, no outstanding warrants at the end of the month.
Teacher approved. Bonnie,
Yes.
Kristen, yes. Dennis,
Yes.
Julie, yes.
8B, discussion of possible action regarding an amendment to the 2025-2026 board adopted operating budget.
Am I still on the right one, Dennis, or is this?
You're right. It's really where you need to be up just, you know, go
Go back up, okay, I think I went past yours.
Yeah. There it is.
There.
Okay. And it's such small print, I don't know, there we go.
I just-
The revenue amendments to the budget, which are is the section that's up there right now, that the revenue in the top section. Really, there wasn't much in the way of anything to amend that was a large amount. We had ups and downs, but recent budgeted revenue here at the end of the year compared to the budget you all approved in October went up 128,000 and some change. And those were just small increases in interest collected, midterm increases in state aid, nothing real material on the revenue side. So really that was pretty straightforward as far as the far right column, which is what we're looking at there. As far as what is amended from the original budget. When we get into the expenditures, it has been a weird year. I've never had this before. We're always looking for ways to make money stretch. And we had a situation that there's a carryover penalty that the state will assess against your state aid next year if you exceed what we calculate as the allowable carryover. And we had a huge carryover because of the fact that we got all that COVID money that had to be spent within a certain time period. So our state and local funds were held. And what we carried over into the beginning of this year was $3.1 billion, which is just almost unfathomable to me. But it was like I said, it was because we got that over $2 million in COVID money that we had to spend before we could spend anything else. There was a bill before the legislature to do away with penalizing people for carryover. And it made it through the Senate, but it got hung up in the House Education Appropriations Committee and didn't get out. So we're subject to being penalized. All that said, the allowable carryover that we could have was 1.9 million. So we had to reduce our carryover by right at $1 million in order not to get, and when I say carryover, sometimes I say fund balance, they're the same thing. It's the funds that are unobligated, you carry from one year to the next. So if I use those terms interchangeably, they are the same thing. So rather than read you line item by line item, things from the original budget that changed, that'll be passed in October, is we're adding money to purchase tablets, laptops, technology for our staff and students. Those things we can inventory even if we don't use them all right away. So that's a good use of the funds. We also are going to try, pending, I think, approval of some things tonight, to go ahead and contract now for next year's public information expenditures with Google and so that we can protect ourselves a little bit. We've lost our safety net by having to spend this, but if we can go ahead and spend the money now obligated for next year's, public information, then if we get in a bind, if we have a revenue shortfall at the state level or something like that, we've taken care of next year out of this year's, and we could actually not spend anything next year if we had to conserve. So it's kind of a safety net to have. I don't know if that, hopefully that made sense to everyone. Yes. We'll be able to wait until the following year for any further expenditures for advertising and public information in the school. And then the final thing that we wanted to do is for those employees that wanted to come back that we could retain, we wanted to do like we did last year and give them a retention stipend for being willing to come back. And so those three things together are going to come in at just the right amount, the way it's been planned to help us avoid that carryover penalty. The rest of the expenditure part of the budget, that's pages and pages and pages up there, rather than bore you and read it to you, they stayed substantially the same with minor fluctuations. So really that was the important part of the amendment, was to do what we needed to do in order not to have a carryover penalty and lose state aid next year. So if you have any questions about any of those multitudes of line items in all those pages, then I'd be happy to answer them. But really, those are the nuts and bolts of what we knew with the
Questions or concerns? Question to approve.
Second. Rodney,
Yes.
Kristen, yes. Dennis,
Yes.
Billy,
Item 8C, discussion of possible action regarding approval of the bid from AVS Concepts LLC.
One of you guys want to talk about that? It should not be me.
Okay, so you have two, you have the bid packet, which is the Virtual Education Service Association, and then you have a little 2-page. So what we did, is we took both bids, put it into chat and said, hey, compare these two. It's so far over my head. Okay, so
This is what you got?
yeah. So if you look there, it breaks down the two contracts, and then we've investigated this and make sure we'll talk through as we go. So the first one, the United Systems, that's the original bid that, I believe the motion last that's passed is to, for us to do greater due diligence. And so that's what we've been working on. ABS is the larger packet that you have in front of you. If you look there, the second bid, with ABS came in a little higher, but if you look at the cameras, for example, 12 devices versus 25, similar to controlled doors. Now, one of the things that here we want to point out, which we can point out it later, is that licensing fee. So then the next category down is where the money goes. So with the preliminary bid, 30,000 was going to hardware, where in the current one that you have in front of you, 49,000 going to hardware. Then there's some second one also has some networking, some access control. The one thing that's notable is the 10-year licenses in the first bid, 48,731. So that seems high for licensing. Then we get down to the
Where's the license in the second?
it's
you're bringing it in-house, right?
Is it
So,
built in?
Yeah, so the other one was gonna be, Billy, what word am I looking for? It's not
it's not
in-house.
yours, it's
Right.
the license, would be outsourced to someone
There we
always.
go, outsourced, right, there, that's what we're looking for, outsourced. And this one will be in-house. Am I saying that right, Julie?
Yeah, you have better control,
Okay,
I think is what.
okay, so then the networking room comparison, it seems like ABS is a little light on that, but we've been on the phone with them minutes before the board meeting. Jason was talking to them. Jason,
Yeah, so basically there's two things that they're gonna they've got to do a couple things on it. One of them being to deal with E-rate. they gotta word how they're doing it, so E-rate, we still get funded from E-rate, and they said that's not a problem, it's basically putting the control or the control room on a separate sheet instead of all combined. I was talking to him, and he said basically everything, you're still gonna have everything that you see, like on the other quote, that's gonna be in the control room. So I think they're gonna re-put all that, where it's shows more line item of what it is. So the way I'm understanding it right now, is it's gonna be basically the exact same thing on that. As far as, as far as, because it looks like there's more. And that's where I was talking to Tim, and he was like, yeah, it's the same thing, we'll get it worded properly.
And I could be wrong, but when I was listening to Jason's conversation, I understood it, but all of that, like all of the network room stuff, I understood it to be, that might be because we're outsourcing it, so it's requiring additional protections. Maybe,
Oh, on the. Yeah, one?
yes,
Okay.
yes, that's the way I understood it. For the other one being in-house, that might have been something different. Did I understand that correctly or not?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Anyway, so we're still working on the E-rate coding. ABS, which is the most recent bid.
Advantages or disadvantages on the 25 cameras versus 12?
It's more coverage, a lot more coverage, a lot more hardware.
I guess I'm asking you, is that good, bad? What, I mean, you guys tell me.
I think it's probably good, and then I think the part I like the best is for me, they're local, because as you can tell, I'm not very good at this stuff. I don't know the technology too well when it comes to this, so being able to get somebody that can literally show up, hey, I need you out here, or something, that's what I like. Now, I mean, I know it's not my decision, but that's one of the things that I like, because I struggle with comprehension and everything else when it comes to technology.
So you're telling me that you guys probably are leaning a little bit more towards ABS as far as the way you feel?
That's how I feel right now.
That's probably my thought. I think that we're trading a lot of hardware for licensing. I think we're exchanging a lot of hard costs for soft costs.
That's another concern last time, at least what I was thinking is with all the cloud-based, the internet went down or whatever happened, they would have no access to view any recording because it was belonging to the cloud.
To them,
To them, it's not
in
there.
this way, we hard drive here.
Yeah, it belongs to them this way, so they can call up whatever recordings they want to, when they want to, without having to go through.
So we have more ownership of our data.
Right.
We will have more ownership of our
Review what
data.
you have.
So we still have a few things to work out. Either way, you guys decide to vote.
Do we need to wait until you work that out, or do we need to go ahead and vote?
Well, last month, it was kind of, I'm not sure how the motion was made. It was a motion made to approve with additional due diligence. And so if we were given the green light to a similar motion, I think we could secure the system. And diligence to make sure that we provide the best system for
I make a motion. Will this price go up any, do you know?
He said it would, he said it's all gonna be there, and I asked him point blank, does that change the quote? And he goes, no, it's not gonna change the quote.
Okay, so then, Ronnie, good question. So something else, and we're still trying to sort through this, because like I said, we were on the phone 10 minutes before coming in the boardroom.
We got this on Sunday, because they've been putting so much time into, we got this Sunday afternoon.
So for example, if you look at the United Systems quote for 93,274.79, this networking room, I just learned this moments before. It appears that 93,000 doesn't include about $20,000 expense in this networking room. But what United Systems, my understanding was United Systems was depending on us qualifying for an E-rate, which is approximately an 80-20 split. So we would incur another $5,000 based on this, and they would incur 15. they get 15 from E-rate. So if you add that 5,000 up to their 93, then you're looking at about 98,274. So we still have some stuff to work out, but we're trying to sort through it. And there's a lot of technology here that's really above my and Jason's scope. So we're trying to do the best due diligence we can.
So it seems to me like it's a no-brainer. If you have the ownership in what you have access to it. Hey, that's more than 50%.
Well, that's one of Jolie's problems with last month when we talked, it's some of the systems that were quoted in the United Systems that she was concerned that without using United Systems, then that hardware would become obsolete. And am I saying that?
Yes, that's
Being
right.
proprietary. is
Yes,
what you talked about.
you couldn't connect other cameras if you wanted to add something later. It'd have to be with
Very, very good.
So we think that not only is this one, giving us more hardware, it's giving us more freedom in the hardware.
Does the motion need to say anything specific in regard to, I think as long as the price stays the same, yeah, we can just make a motion.
Yeah.
You gotta do everything behind the scenes after that. Okay. Yeah.
first. Isn't there?
Yes.
Kristen? Yes. Dennis?
Yes.
Julie? Yes.
This is for the ADS system. 8D, discussion of possible action regarding approval of PO 28.
So this is for contract.
Yes.
Kristen? Yes. Julie?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes. Item 8E, discussion of possible action regarding. Anybody want to listen? Yes. Item 8E, discussion of possible action regarding approval of Mr. P07.
The purchase order 7 is for curriculum. We knew we needed to increase it some for our general curriculum, to cover. And then after I had discussions with Kylie about possibly ordering some lit kits. Also, that's why we needed to increase it. Teacher approved.
Yes.
Kristen? Yes. Dennis?
Yes.
Julie? Yes.
8F, discussion of possible action regarding approval of an increase to PO 14.
So this goes with what Dennis was saying about the carryover penalty. The discussion was for marketing and everything else.
For next year.
Yeah, it would go for it.
Right. You go first.
Second. Tony?
Yes.
Kristen? Yes. Dennis?
Yes.
Jolie?
Yes.
Item 8G, a discussion of possible action regarding approval of vacation stipends.
I would like to speak to this one. You know, we're in a unique position that we have a little extra funds, and I think anytime that we can use that toward our teachers who put in a lot of extra time and work really hard, we should. And so I asked for this one to go on there because I think it's good for our teachers. Anytime we can use money for them, we should.
I'm assuming that most of our teachers are pretty low.
They are. I mean, we lost a few. Some of those were our choice. because we're always looking to improve our staff, and some of them with their choice because, and we respect the fact that they want to go, you know, that they want to do different things, and that's fine. But for the most part, you know, we've got a pretty stable staff, and I feel like the ones that we've got are good.
Pretty steady.
Yeah.
I noticed that some of the, when you were talking about people leaving and going to different jobs, are we pretty comparable in our rates as far as teachers?
We are, I'll tell you what, when we were looking, Eric and I were looking at, our salary schedule for 26, 27. I did a survey of, what teacher salaries were around the area. We're a little bit lower than Oklahoma City. We're a little bit higher than, here's a surprise, we're higher than, Union in Tulsa.
Really?
That surprised me, and I looked at some 6A schools and some 5A schools and some 4A schools and some 3A schools and some 2A schools, and we're a little above the 2A schools. But we really, you know, I look at who we have to be competitive with, and that's everybody. Eric and I have talked a little bit about, depending on what our budget looks like when we get our budget from the state next year, going forward, we may want to look at increasing we pay 7% above the state average right now. And we may want to up that a little bit because a lot of school districts that we compete with are in the 10% range. I mean, so I think that's always something that we need to be looking at. Another thing that Eric and I have kind of discovered, I'm gonna say this, is that we've always kind of operated under the assumption that our benefit package was a huge draw. And what we're hearing from some of our people is that the benefits are great, but I think this is a little bit of a reflection of the current economy in the whole United States, that cash is better. You know, a higher salary would be better for them because short term versus long term. You know, a lot of, you know, it's just cost of living in the United States have gone up right now. So that's something else we're going to be looking at.
And these stipends are dependent upon the years of service? Or is that what it is, or is that a combination of what you consider quality of work?
No, we don't do, I am not a fan of that. Quality of work, when you start getting into that, it gets real subjective and it gets real, you know, there's a lot of things that go into, you can look at a teacher and go, oh, her test scores are really, really high every year. But then you have to look at what kids you know, what district is she in? What kids is she getting? Where are the kids coming from? All those kinds of things. And it gets real subjective really fast. You know, my opinion is if they're good enough to be on our staff, then we reward them equally. And if they're not, then encourage them to find a place where they can be more successful.
Motion to approve.
Second,
Right.
so,
Cool.
sorry, just so you know, this is the full register. This is not everyone getting the stipend. The next page, if you go to the next page, it'll list the PO numbers. That's sideways. But sorry.
Upside down.
We will have, the PO numbers are the ones getting the stipends.
Okay.
So it's not everyone on the register.
Okay.
So we called it a retention stipend because these are people that have committed to coming back.
Okay.
So that's kind of the criteria.
So the ones that aren't on there, are they up in the air if they're coming back next year?
No, this is everybody. We're finalized now on who's coming back and who's not. And we're heavily into hiring new teachers to fill their spots.
Okay.
How many are we down, if you don't mind? Well,
I think right now we're down, well, that's a moving target.
understand.
I think right at this moment, we're probably down 6 that we're gonna hire. We've hired a couple. We've hired a math teacher. Who have we hired?
Elementary, lower elementary.
And a lower, we've got, yeah, we talked about them a little bit last month. we're doing some more interviews. We've got some specific things that we're hiring for. And we're being really strategic, as we look at people to interview, we're trying to be really strategic, thinking that we're gonna grow. And so we want to be in a good position so that we're not scrambling at the last minute. Like we're not hiring any utility players.
Okay.
That, I mean, that's kind of the best way to say it. We're hiring, we're down 6.
What are we looking for?
So we're net 3 down.
Well, yeah, that's right. Except for there's a couple that were never replaced from last year. So I was kind of
Okay, sorry.
figuring those in, right? We had a couple of positions that left. I'm guessing last fall, maybe,
Yeah, because some of those were on that.
before I came. And then they were never replaced. And so we had a net, we were down a couple before all year last year. So we need to staff those positions so that we are positioned well for growth,
Yeah.
so that we're not scrambling.
What are we looking for? What subjects or what?
Right now, our big need is we need another math teacher and we need a science teacher for real. That's a big one. We've got to have another science teacher. Otherwise, we're going to kill Michelle. You know, I like to kill teachers. Not wise. Kylie's got to have a couple more elementary teachers ASAP. Those are kind of the big urgent needs. But then what I'm looking at too is, okay, we want to have a little wiggle room in English and a little wiggle room in history so that if we grow, we're not just drowning all of a sudden.
In the position that we're in, are we like allowed to use substitutes?
We did, in fact, last year when Mr. Thomas left mid-year, when we lost him mid-year. We actually did have a history substitute for the remainder of the year. It's not ideal. And we were lucky. We at least had somebody who was a history major to replace a history teacher, which you can't always find.
Right.
It's really different in a virtual world using a substitute because not only do they, I mean, like if you're lucky enough to get somebody in the right subject area, that's awesome. But then there's all the systems we use. It's hard to come in and substitute for us. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I keep.
No, those are good
Yeah,
questions. No, I think those are all good questions that everybody ought to be able to get. It's good, important information, I think, that we need to talk about. My goal is to make sure that we're positioned that we've got everybody in place to cover our current enrollment and that we're positioned for growth. We had a couple of people on staff that were kind of utility players that were really limited how we could use them, and we're trying to avoid hiring those kind of positions. We're trying to hire positions where they're multi talented. We can different places.
Okay. Robbie,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Kristen,
Yes.
Jolie.
Yes.
Item 8H, discussion and possible action.
Go back up.
Oh, sorry.
Eight H, discussion and possible action regarding approval of the fiscal year 26 payroll register.
The register was the page before this. This one shows on the POs, the ones that had the stipend were the ones that changed. And so there's the stipend amount change, but the last column shows the amounts. Part of it will be from the FICA and things that change whenever it accrues for the stipend. Some of them will be the larger amounts that deviated. I checked when the accruals were, why it deviated so much. And it would be, one of them was from extended school day. There was extended school day that was accrued, and then they didn't work as much as extended school day. That reduced the amount that was used. That's why there's a negative number. Another one changed benefits partway during the year, so higher benefits were accrued, and then they changed them, and so that was another difference. But the page above this is the actual final register.
Motion to approve.
Second. Ronnie,
Yes.
Kristen? Yes. Dennis?
Yes.
Jolie? Yes.
Item 8I, discussion of possible action regarding approval of appointment of Sarah Delmont as the government clerk of Virtual Education Services Associations for the 2026-2027 school year. Hope you want to do this.
Yeah.
All right. Motion to approve.
Ronnie,
Yes.
Kristen? Yes. Dennis?
Yes.
Jolie?
Yes.
Item 8J, discussion of possible action regarding approval of appointment of Sarah Delmont as the minutes clerk for the Virtual Education Service Association for the 2026-2027 school year. Your next January.
I'll keep wearing it. Yes, so approved.
Motion to approve.
Second. Ronnie,
Yes.
Kristen? Yes. Dennis?
Yes.
Jolie? Yes.
8A, discussion of possible action regarding approval of employing Sarah Delmont.
Well, I want to talk about this one. So we needed to hire another office person, and Sarah mentioned to me in a conversation that she might be gonna find another part-time job. I was like, whoa, don't find another part-time job, come work for us. And so, yeah, so she's gonna work in the office with us, so I'm super excited about that because, she already knows all this stuff. She will work, okay, so Sarah and I have had many conversations about this to make sure that everything we were doing is legal and above board and not a conflict of interest. So, since Sarah will be working for you as a board officer, as a board staff member, she has to do that because she can't work for the management company and do the jobs that she's already doing.
Right.
So my thought is, and Sarah and I brainstormed a bunch about, what jobs she could do that would not be a conflict of interest, and there are some. So Epicenter is what we use to, report to the charter board. She can certainly do that because that's all strictly school business. She's gonna take over the inventory, management, because we have to do some really specific things whenever we get rid of inventory, as we add inventory, but because the board owns that, the school owns the inventory, she can handle that without that being a conflict of interest. We've identified, a couple other things as well that she can do without it being a conflict of interest, but that will be super helpful to me, to me and to the school in general. We can easily find things for her to do that, and that takes somebody that worked for the management company was doing all that. Anyway, it's not like, well, I was doing the Epicenter stuff, but the other stuff that we want her to do, somebody was already doing it, we'll just move it from them to her.
I can think of no one else that would do it better.
Amen.
And it sounds like you've taken care of all the risks that are in place that maybe there's a question about. So that being said, I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second. Ronnie,
Yes.
Kristen? Yes. Dennis?
Yes.
Jolie? Yes.
Is it appropriate to cheer now?
Not yet.
Super glad she
Does
got.
that leave you with 2 staff you need for the office now, or still 3?
No, that will leave us with just need one more.
One more, okay.
Yeah, if we decide, we're gonna kind of play around with a little bit. We don't wanna, overspend with staff we don't need, but at the same time, if we figure out, we're gonna kind of watch and see. We've got some really good staff people now. Yeah, it's exciting.
Item 8L, discussion of possible action regarding approval of the rental agreement with Diversified Properties for the use of the facility at 2403 South Division Street, Governor Formula 73044, 3/4 Suite 8, 100%.
Pays the rent on it, did it?
Really got it. I mean, I'm just gonna watch you since we don't pass this and that ABS. I don't know where we're gonna put it. Yes.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
we got the office looking pretty good.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ronnie,
Yes.
Kristen,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Billy.
Yes.
8M, discussion of possible action regarding approval of the annual EMO performance review.
So I, took the liberty of recommending what I think we should, recommend. What? Let's do the other
It's the
document.
next.
Oh. Oh, okay, so when we scan in the documents, are you right? Yes, that's good. Since we scan in the documents, we have to scan them in pieces because our scanner would. That's why you guys have that too. So I took the liberty of, and we can change any of these that you guys want changed, but I found in the time I've been working with Jason and Eric, I found them to be highly professional and highly willing to do whatever needs to happen to be good for the school. So I mean, obviously these are pretty high ratings, but I mean, I think I worked with another management organization and way rather work with these guys. Reason we do this is because this is one of the requirements of the virtual charter or the charter board that we turn this in. Ronnie?
Yes.
Kristen,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Billy.
8N, discussion of possible action regarding approval of the management agreement with Interstate Charter Management LLC.
There were no material changes to this at all. They left everything the same and just rolled it over to the next year. So you guys have anything you want to say about it?
We just, with everything we've been through and coming up to charter renewal and with everything we're working for and the goal is to get that charter renewal. We didn't think it was the time to make any changes to the managerial agreement. And, we wanted the optics to be good for this board and for the state board. So after much discussion, all we did is updated dates.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ronnie,
Yes.
Kristen,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Billy.
Yes.
8.0. Discussion of possible action to approve the appointment of Tammy Shepherd as superintendent for the 2026-2027 school year. And that's the same thing. You want to do this.
You're in no matter what.
Yes. I have agreed to stay on for another year.
Second. Ronnie,
Yes.
Kristen,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Billy.
Yes.
I had to ask the question. Item 8P, discussion of possible action to approve the superintendent agreement 2026-2027 school year.
I mean, that's pretty much the same thing, right? I've heard motion to approve.
Yes.
Kristen,
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes.
Billy.
8Q, discussion of possible action to approve the appointment of Dennis Schultz as treasurer of Virtual Education Services Association for 2026-2027 school year. Not even want to ask.
Motion to approve.
Ronnie,
Yes.
Kristen,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Julie,
Item 8R, discussion and possible action to approve the consulting aid agreement with Schultz Consulting LLC for the 2026-2027 school year.
To approve. Oh, go ahead.
Vote to approve.
Ronnie,
Yes.
Kristen,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Julie,
Item 8S, discussion and possible action to approve PO 29.
So this is basically, we were paid money we should have been paid, or we received revenue that we should not have, so we need to send it back.
The state gave us $15,000 for having national board certified teachers that we didn't have. So it was an error on their part and they're just wanting the money refunded.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Ronnie,
Yes.
Kristen,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Julie,
Item 8T, discussion and possible action to approve the fiscal year 27 PO register.
So as you can tell, there are no payroll POs on this. We'll add those in at the July board meeting. I went through this with Eric for a couple hours the other day. And I think we the reason I attached all the extra pages that have all the POs is it will show the breakdown of this is what we'll spend, or this is what we expect to spend on different things, and we tried to break it down more. You might notice there are also more, we're starting with more POs. My goal, is to continue to limit down the blanket PO, so we have it, so there's a plan, and we don't just have this balloon where it's very loosey-goosey, but we're trying to, yeah,
She's doing it for me so I can do a budget.
There you go.
and all the coding's ready. Going through this. So do you guys have any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ronnie,
Yes.
Kristen,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Julie,
Item 9, new business.
I have none.
Item 10, adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Ronnie,
Yes.
Kristen,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Julie.
Now, Chair.
Don't worry, I know.